Guys, today's video is a little bit embarrassing and I'm a little bit ashamed and I have a confession to make. No, I did not scam anyone. No, I did not commit fraud, but I was the victim of a scam. I was the victim of fraud. Today's video is about winners and losers. The winners, PSA, PWCC, myself, believe it or not, the hobby is a winner, I would consider. The losers are BGS and any other grading company that does not have a money-back guarantee in the event they grade a counterfeit card. And then the other big loser would be the asshole criminals who counterfeited a highly coveted Michael Jordan card. If that doesn't act as a teaser, I don't know what will. Watch today's episode. I am sharing with you guys the entire story, start to finish, of how I bought a fake Tier 2 Michael Jordan hierarchy basketball card and how it got resolved. PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code CAJUN, all caps, CAJUN, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. All right, here we go. Let me try to get my bearings straight. As you guys know, I am not good at staying organized. So let me just try to take you guys through this story chronologically and tell you how it happened. I don't know any other way to attack this thing. I was bidding in the PWCC weekly auction. This is now 11 days ago, believe it or not. It seems like it was a while back, but it's not. And I was thrilled to pick up this exact card right here in a PSA slab with a PSA label. It's a relatively new grade. It's the 1996 Ultra Platinum Medallion number P16. This is not a serial numbered Platinum Medallion. This is the 96, so there is no serial number on the back of this card. I picked it up for $1,980. I even talked about it in a mail day. I was very excited about picking the card up. Anytime you add a tier 2 card, especially when you add it in what I think was under comps, you get excited. And so I shared the card. I bought the card. After I recorded that mail day video, you guys may have seen it, I got a couple of messages, about 3 messages from a couple of people that watch my channel that saw the mail day video, from a couple of people that saw me post it on Instagram. And this is another reason why I keep trying to tell you, YouTube only, guys, you older folks like me. If you're on YouTube and you're watching my stuff, but you're not on Instagram, you're missing out. This is another example of how Instagram can benefit you in the hobby. I got some messages from people who saw me post the card on Instagram saying, hey, I don't know if you know this, and I don't know for sure, but that Platinum Medallion PSA 8 you bought might be a fake. It might be a counterfeit. Not a fake slab. It might be a fake card that was actually graded by PSA and slipped through the cracks. It happens. We hear about it all the time. We hear about the horror stories. It happened here, or at least I was concerned that it might have. So I got these messages. These are people that watch the channel. These are people that are looking out for me. So I truly appreciate the people that did reach out. It was probably 3 or 4 people, and they said, look, they're talking about your card on blowout forums, which I don't follow because I don't have time in my day. And here are the signs that your card might be a fake. I don't know if it is or not, but you may want to pursue it further. And so, I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm a father of 7. I'm a husband. I'm a soccer dad coach, right? I'm trying to run this Cajun Cardboard brand, this social media brand. I'm hiring, I'm firing. I'm actually a real estate attorney. I have a real job. Like everybody else out there, I got a lot of shit going on. The last thing I want to do is deal with a fake card that I bought, but I started thinking to myself, what's the right thing to do here? Could I just bury the card, be in denial, put it in my PWCC Vault and leave it there for 2 or 3 years because I don't plan to resell the card? It wasn't like I was flipping the card, and ignore it and forget about it? and I couldn't do it. So it took about 15 seconds of thought to say, you know what, the right thing to do here, and the right thing that I would, implore another collector to do if someone notified them. You don't want to get this message, but if you get a notification that, hey, I think one of the cards that you have that you own that you think is real is not real, you might want to check into it. You need to check into it. And so that's what I concluded. And then the story gets a little bit crazier. So the first, I was actually, believe it or not, I was actually messaging Nat Turner at PSA, at Collectors, the CEO of Collectors. I was actually messaging him about something completely unrelated. And when this happened, like literally the same day, and I was like, Nat, I was like, listen, I was like, I know you're busy, and I know you're not my contact. I was like, what should you do? I got a message saying that this card that I bought might potentially be a fake. In fact, let me go back real quick. I own this. This is 100% my fault. I'm buying and selling too much to verify what is and isn't a fake. And to be fair, to some extent, you defer to the BGSs and the PSAs and the SGCs if that floats your boat as to whether a card's a fake or not. And if it's in a legitimate slab, you can usually, the overwhelming majority of the time, assume that the card is real. There are known fakes out there. There are big men on court, ZP, and BGS holders that we know are fake. There's a blowout forum on that. There are Flair Showcase Legacy Collection cards that we know fakes exist. Those are the types of cards. Yes, I've always preached, do your research, do your research, do your research. I'll be honest with you, I have never espoused to be an expert on fake or counterfeit. I have never espoused to be an expert on Michael Jordan cards. I just wrongly assumed that this little $2,000, I know it's a lot of money, but it's like in the grand scheme of things in Jordan collecting, it's not a whale, right? This PSA 8 Jordan, I just wrongly assumed it was legitimate, and it wasn't. So, again, I just want to make that very clear. I'm not blaming anybody else. Did PSA make a mistake and slab a card that was fake? 100%. Should I... do I have an obligation? Is it buyer beware? I think it is anytime in the hobby, even when the card's in a slab. But nevertheless, part of the reason, and we'll get to this later, part of the reason why I do sort of prefer PSA, especially if I'm buying cards from the secondary market, is that they have a money-back guarantee, and BGS does not, as far as I know. So we're going to get more to that in just a second, but let me get back to my communication with Nat Turner. So I said, Nat, what do I do? Where do I go? Nat provided me information. He said, good luck. He's like, based on your messages, based on the blowout thread, it looks like it's not going to be good. I feared the worst. I suspected the worst. If there's smoke, there's fire. When 4 or 5 people out there are telling you bought a fake card, you probably bought a fake card. And so, here's the problem. I don't have a card. It's not here. I bought it in the PWCC Weekly, and when I buy cards in the PWCC Weekly, what do I do with those cards? Well, I pay for them immediately the next morning, Monday morning, like I did in this case. So I shot over $1,980. The card instantly is uploaded into my vault. So the card's sitting in my vault. It's in Tigard, Oregon, which is a bazillion miles away. Trust me, I know. I visited. It's way the hell over there. I don't have the card, but I need to get this card to PSA. I've got to get it to PSA. They have something called a CRC, which I don't know what it stands for, but I'm sure the word counterfeit's somewhere in there. Counterfeit Review Committee. I don't know. Who knows? It's called the CRC section or division of collectors / PSA. So I have to get the card to them to review so they can begin the process of confirming or denying that it is in fact a fake 96 Ultra Platinum Medallion, and then we can get into the process of sort of reimbursing me, because PSA has that money back guarantee up to a certain limit, I think, that a lot of other grading companies do not have. So the dilemma now is the card's in Oregon, I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, PSA is in Santa Ana, California. This is going to be a pitch for PWCC, and this is why in this situation PWCC is a winner. PSA is a winner because they have a money-back guarantee. PSA is a winner because they have a CRC division that reviews counterfeit cards. PSA is a winner because They're going to destroy, spoiler alert, it's fake. They're going to destroy this card, destroy the label, remove it from the pop report, and ensure a little bit of transparency and accuracy in the hobby, and take one more counterfeit card out of the public setting. So that's why PSA is a winner. PWCC is a winner because I reached out to my PWCC rep on it was on Monday of this week. I'm recording this on Friday, January 19th, 2024. On Monday, I think it was Monday, I reached out to, or maybe it was last Friday, I reached out to my rep, my contact at PWCC, and explained the situation and said, we have a problem. I've got to get a card from your vault, from my vault, from our vault at PWCC Fanatics over to Santa Ana, California. He said, no problem at all. All I need you to do is create a submission request. And so I looped in my contact at PSA, my contact, the aforementioned rep at PWCC, who's been nothing but brilliant thus far, and I group emailed them together, and I said, here's what's going on. I'm flying it from here to there. I said, PSA, my contact at PSA, I said, what do you need from me? She informed me to fill out a PSA submission form as though I were grading the card, then put notes in there, attention CRC division. The card is not being submitted for grading. The card is only being submitted for review to determine whether or not it's counterfeit. Put that in the notes. Create a submission form. That way it's been assigned a PSA like file number, just like a grading submission would be, would be created, and then I printed that, or I created a PDF of that, sent that by email to my PWCC rep. I went on to PWCC. I created a submission request, and a submission request is just a fancy word for a request to mail my card somewhere other than to me. So I basically told PWCC, take this card out of my vault, mail it to this address. But I told them, I said, when you do it, you've got to put this PSA barcode on the top of the box. Here is a PSA is again a winner. They sent me a no expense prepaid FedEx label. PSA wants to take these cards out of the market, so they paid for the FedEx label from PWCC to me. I told my PWCC rep, slap the label on there, slap the barcode on there. Here is an attached PDF with a copy of my PSA submission. And I used the grading level for the value of the cards. That's what I was told by PSA. So, I told her, I said, I think the card's $2,000. She's like, well, use this grading level, create the submission as though you're grading the card, put the card, have them put the card in there, put that in the box. So PWCC does A, B, C, ships it over. FedEx priority overnight, arrives the next day, and then I get this email Tuesday of this week. Hello, valued PSA customer. Your PSA CRC order has been entered and received into our secure facility. This is damn near immediately, okay? So we're talking about real rapid succession. Please allow the claims team time to process and review your order. Our claims procedure differs from the normal operations process as each order goes through. I'm not sharing my screen. As each order goes through a multi-step progression to review each claim carefully. Once thoroughly reviewed, you will be receiving a call from a customer relations specialist to discuss your claim. So it's a two-step process. The first step is, is it fake or is it real? The CRC committee or division or board of directors or whoever these little weirdos are that sit in a room, in a dimly lit room with, spectacles and magnifying glasses, they'll determine if it's real or fake. We feared the worst, and it was indeed fake. That's step one, determining whether the card's real or fake. If it's real, obviously they send it back and say, I don't know who told you this card's real. But they determined it to be fake. And so step two in the phone call would be, or a reply email would be, to discuss my claim. And by claim, she means I want my money back, to be quite honest with you, because that's part of the PSA guarantee. That's part of the contract I have signed, or that's part of the sort of the unwritten contract between PSA and the general public, is that if you buy a counterfeit card that has been slabbed, authentic, and graded by PSA, they will refund you the value, the market value at the time of the card. Well, this card, there was no disputing. I'm only asking for the money. I got it back. I think I got it under cost. I think it's about a $2,500 card. I got it for $2,000, $1,980. Let's say $2,000. So I never got a call back because we never had to negotiate or kind of pick through the weeds to figure out in the comps. It would have been funny to go through Card Ladder with somebody I don't know trying to tell them how much a card's worth. But I just got an email. Well, here's the second email. We received your shipment. Here it is. It comes in just like a PSA grading submission, right? And then the last communication I got was today, Friday morning. So they got it on Tuesday. I got an email this morning. Well, actually, I got it last night saying, I'm sorry, Brian. And it was a personal message. I'm sorry. The card's fake. We agree with you that the card is worth $2,000. The CRC team will be in touch with you to refund you the full $2,000 market value of the card. So for that reason, I feel like I'm a winner. I figured out what the process is to send a card to PSA to determine whether a card is raw or fake. So I've learned something in this process. B, I got all my money back. So I'm not really a winner or a loser. I didn't profit, but I didn't lose. And so I consider myself a winner. 3, and y'all are going to laugh. Let me get you on big screen for this. Y'all are going to laugh your ass off. I accidentally, on the same night that I won the PSA 8 Platinum Medallion, this exact same card, y'all are not going to believe this. This exact, well, not this one, but a real one. The same night I bought this fake PSA 8, I accidentally, old dumb Cajun, won a PSA copy of the same card, a PSA 7, so on eBay. So I won the same card in a 7 and an 8 on the same night, and I was like, damn it. But guys, God's got a plan, man. You never know what the hell is going to happen, and when you do something stupid, sometimes it turns out to be genius. And so little did I know that I accidentally bought a fake PSA 8, but I bought a real authentic PSA 7 from eBay. And so the PSA 7 is now in my collection. I've got the card. No worries there. For once, my stupidity and ignorance and oversight and just being too damn busy led to positive results. So anyway, getting back to it. So PSA is now in that process. I have no doubt that next week I'll be contacted by PSA. They'll put $2,000 into my bank account or send me a check or however they handle that. I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't really care how they handle it, but they're going to give me all $2,000 back. So for that reason, PSA is definitely the winner. The one thing I want to bring up, and I know I'm going to sound like a PWCC hype beast here, but I would be making this. Let's be real clear. I would be making this video even if if I bought the card on Golden Auctions. I'd be making this video if I bought it on My Slabs. I'd be making this video if I bought the card private. It'd be a more interesting video, of course. I'd be making this video if I bought the card on Golden or eBay or wherever, okay? So I just happened to buy this particular fake card on PWCC. But I want to say, and a lot of people have said, that's shame on PWCC for selling fake cards. I'm just going to say this once. This goes for any auction house. Mile High, PWCC, Robert Edwards, eBay. It is unrealistic to expect an auction house, any auction house, including PWCC, but any auction house, to identify real cards from fake cards when they are in graded slabs. It's just not realistic, guys. It is not realistic. It's more my obligation than it is their obligation. PWCC and Golden don't sell hundreds of cards. They don't sell thousands of cards. They don't sell tens of thousands of cards. They sell probably millions of cards a year. I haven't done the math, but I'm going to guess eBay for sure sells millions of cards. It is just not realistic to expect them to identify counterfeit cards that have been graded. That's not a realistic expectation. So I don't put any of the blame in this situation on PWCC, and I'll tell you right now, I would not put any of the blame on Golden. The blame goes on PSA for making the mistake, unquestionably. The blame goes on yours truly for buying a fake card when, theoretically, I could have gone on Blowout Forum and checked into the card. If it was a $40,000 card, you bet your ass that I would have done any and all due diligence necessary to make sure I was buying a real card. But, honest to God, I got a lot going on. It was $1,980. It was in a PSA slab. I felt like rolling the dice, and I felt comfortable rolling the dice. Why? For exactly the reasons that I just stated, because PSA's got a money-back guarantee. People talk about the disparity between PSA 10s and BGS 9.5s and how it's too large. And while I do agree to some extent that premium is exorbitant, it is inorganic, it is, it's too big. I don't know what else to say. There's too much of a magnifier, multiplier between PSA 10s and BGS 9.5s. One thing we tend to forget, and part of the reason that there's that big gap in value, is the fact that PSA offers a money back guarantee. And to the best of my knowledge, someone please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, had this been a BGS 9.5 card, I don't think I'm getting my money back. I think it would be too bad, so sad, Cajun. Buy a real one next time. Do your research. So that is another reason why there is the disparity between PSA and BGS. I don't get paid by PSA. I don't get paid by BGS, obviously. I don't get paid by Golden. I get paid by PWCC, but I am on record saying I don't care who the auction house is. It ain't realistic to expect them to double check these grading companies and make sure they did their job correctly and slabbed an authentic card. It's just not realistic. Now, let's throw a caveat in there. Let's put a big Cajun asterisk in there. If I, or not me, but let's say one of these experts at spotting fake Jordans notices, hey, PWCC or hey, Golden, look, in your premier auction for February, you've got a Super Rave, it's fake. You need to look into that. You've got a fake Super Rave in 98 Skybox Thunder, fake Super Rave, serial number to 25. You've got one of those in your, Golden Elite February auction, your PWCC Premier auction. Then does the auction house have a duty to investigate? 137% yes. They have got an obligation to go and investigate and determine whether or not that is in fact a real or a fake card. But unbeknownst to them, just spontaneously, there is no damn way these auction houses selling this many cards can be expected to identify reals from fakes. So that's kind of my story. I don't know if I left anything out. In a nutshell, it's my fault. Auction houses don't have an obligation to identify reals from fakes when they're in slabs unless they have been notified that it might be a potential fake, in which case I think they have a 100% affirmative obligation to do so. The losers here are any grading companies that don't have a money back guarantee, because this could have gone the wrong way quick with anybody other than PSA, and I'd be out $1,980. So thank you to PSA for this. I don't know if I'm calling it the right thing, money back guarantee, insurance guarantee. I don't know what you want to call it, whatever you call it. PSA is, the winners are PSA for all the reasons stated, PWCC for all the reasons stated, including the expeditious help in getting this resolved so quickly. The winners are me, because I get my money back, and I feel lucky to break even in a situation where I made the mistake, or at least I was part of the mistake. And then lastly, I think the hobby benefits from this. I think you guys that watch this video are winners, because now PSA does this, other grading companies may not. Again, I'm not getting paid by PSA. It's not a PSA hype train, but it does give you a little sense of comfort when you're buying some of these cards that have on occasion been faked. I didn't even know this was a fake worthy card, or a card that had often been faked. Apparently, a bunch of them came in and they slipped through the cracks with a bunch of grading companies back in the day, or even recently, maybe. I don't know. Maybe this was an old one that was reslabbed. I didn't look at a certain number to even verify all that crap, because the slab itself is real. It's the card itself that's fake. Anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Hopefully the hobby benefits from this, listening to me ramble. I tried to be as organized as I could and kind of stumble my way through it as efficiently as I can. 21 minutes is pretty efficient for me to tell a story like this. But long story short, my dumbass accidentally buying a PSA 7 copy on the same night as a PSA 8, so where I still have the card. To me, that's just kind of funny, to be honest with you. But the PSA 7 is a little bit beat up. I was really excited about the fake PSA 8, but as it turns out, it's fake. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you have done everything exactly the way I did, or would you have just buried the card and kept it in your collection and said, hey, the card looks the same, PSA thinks it's real, so it must be real? I just couldn't live in denial like that. I don't know if it's, you gotta, in life, you make decisions. You got Birdie on one shoulder and on the other. You see those old cartoons where there's a devil on one side and then you've got the angel on the other side, and the angel's telling you to do the right thing and the devil's trying to tell you to do the lazy thing or the easy thing, or take the path of least resistance. Sometimes in life, I take the path of least resistance. I'll drive by the gym. I won't get on the treadmill. I won't pick up the weights. I won't eat the healthy food. I'll eat the fried shit. I won't go to the gym. I'll just come to the office and do it. we make those decisions. In this case, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't ignore it. I couldn't stand having that, in the back of my mind that I've got a tier 2 Jordan card that I would love to be proud of. I would love to display and I would love to show. But it didn't sit right with me. So let me know in the comment. I just don't know any other way to do it. It seemed like the right thing to do, and it worked out the right way. So, because PSA returned me to ground zero, and my stupidity actually got me a PSA 7 in my collection for a little bit less money. So still looking for a bigger copy of the card. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the story. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know in the comments if you have had a different experience with PSA, as far as identifying a counterfeit card or anything like that. This is just one experience. I am not saying every time you get a fake card and send it to PSA, they'll say, yep, it's fake. Here's all your money back. That's just what happened in this particular situation with me. So I'd love to hear other people's positive or negative experiences with PSA, and then any positive or negative experiences you've had with any of the other grading companies as far as getting them to reimburse you for. I don't know if SGC has like an insurance policy or a guarantee of your money back if they grade a fake card. I thought I had heard that SGC does up to a certain limit, and then I had heard that BGS does not. That might have changed. Honestly, I don't keep up with that kind of stuff. I guess I would know the answer if this were a BGS 8.5 or a BGS 9 or a BGS gem that I bought. But thank God it wasn't, because it worked out perfect with PSA. And so my kudos to PSA, PWCC for handling this the right way, and FedEx, because they got the card there right away. As always, that's how I ship everything that's valuable, is FedEx priority overnight, and take no chances. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. I'm looking forward to seeing some comments on this one to get some thoughts and some other past experiences from guys. And peace.